Disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, this one comes from ABC, and this is in Australia. Big up to the Aussies. Whoop, whoop. Scientology has been running a penal colony in Sydney, book alleges. They're talking about the Scientology RPF. There's a Scientology RPF for children, and adults as well. In Australia, there's one in Los Angeles. There's one in Florida. There's one in the UK. They're all over the place. A young Venezuelan signs a billion-year contract with a notoriously secretive religion, goes to work on a floating church cruise ship. I love how they worded that. Falls in love and is punished at a Western Sydney penal colony. Someone please prepare to write down this name and what they go through, if you don't mind. This is a story told by former Hack host Steve Cannon in a new book on Scientology called Fair Game. Oh, that might be worth a read. He says Jose Navarro finally escaped from the punishment camp after years of hard labor and rotten food. He was a child, by the way, and then hid in the Sydney Botanic Gardens. Wonder where his passport was. Poor thing. Why don't they give his age? It's designed like a penal colony as far away as possible. Yep, that's at isolation. Just like Hemet, California. Hemet, California. And also they put the... What's the name of that school? The one in Los Angeles. Well, anyways, the Cadet Org / ranch was very isolated on purpose. They don't want the public seeing what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Jose's transgression was falling in love. I already know where this is going. Was falling in love with someone he was not allowed to have a relationship with by the Scientology hierarchy. Prestigious executives. Also, though, those are the auditors. They do labor, wear all black. See, I told you guys. They do labor, wear all black or dark blue. See, how many children did I take a picture of in Clearwater, Florida, called the Sea Org Alley, from I believe it was Darth Xander. They were all wearing dark blue. Clearwater PD, FBI. To signify what they call a lower condition. And eat the slops and leftovers from the Flemington markets. How many times have we heard this? Police, they seem to be just super hunky-dory with all of it. Why is everyone investigating Scientology? Kanan's book follows other recent documentaries, including Going Clear 2015, and Louis Theroux's My Scientology movie, which is currently in Australian cinemas. According to Kanan, all this interest in shedding light on the religion, cult, in my opinion, is part of a trend that began way back in the 1990s and led up to secret documents being published on sites like WikiLeaks. The internet is forcing Scientology out into the open, he says. Yes. So what about Xenu? The Xenu story was popularized by a 2005 episode of South Park. It tells of an evil intergalactic warlord who brought his people to Earth millions of years ago and killed them with hydrogen bombs. The spirits of these people are the cause of many of mankind's spiritual problems. Can you believe this? It was based on leaked Scientology documents that had been circulating on the internet since the mid-1990s. The story has also popped up in investigative stories by the BBC in 2008. Well, and you guys know what goes on at the BBC, right? WikiLeaks published audio recordings of Scientology founder and convicted felon who believes 7-year-old girls should be passionately kissed. The science fiction author L. Ron Hubbard lecturing on the Xeno creation myth. What a nut job he was. And I can't believe people fall for this garbage. But I guess if you're a child, you don't really have much choice, do you? This article contains content that is not available. Ooh. Scientology has distanced itself from the Xenu story. Well, they can distance all day long. It's still in their policies. When Hack spoke with Scientology spokesman, oh great, keep this goofball name in mind. So Mike Ferris is the Aussie spokesman. Probably missing a few brain cells. He declined to talk much about Xeno. Of course he did. Because he might get pneumonia and die, you know. Instead, it was a bit of an urban legend the media latches onto. You believe the idiocracy? I mean, it's unreal. Each religion has its own esoterica, he said. Listen to the bullshit. Christianity has an esoterica of angels and demons. Jesus. No, that's real, man, in my opinion. In Scientology, as one progresses through various spiritual levels, one starts to learn about the esoterica of Scientology. Oh, keep telling yourself that. That's probably the BS he's getting fed, to be honest. It's all compartmentalized mind control. You can make it of... Oh, I don't even want to read this crap. You can make of it what you will. The average Scientologist, including myself, won't get into it. Oh, because you know why? Because they're told if they talk about it, they'll get pneumonia and die. Because they don't want the lower levels knowing what the upper levels know. Because then the whole pyramid scheme falls. And they're paying thousands and probably millions of dollars for all this insanity. I believe some get what they deserve, to be honest. Wherever Xeno fits within the religion, the story is an example of the way the internet is killing Scientology's recruitment model. According to Canaan, knowledge that had only been shared with advanced members of the church has entered popular culture. It sure has. One day I'm going to share some of those videos with you guys in a playlist. Exposed to the public, some of the sacred lore has been openly mocked. They used to be able to control information. He said, yeah, not anymore. The internet called that off. People started to upload that information and also told stories of abuse. Outsiders started to learn more about the organization. This is where Julian Assange comes in. In the 1990s, he was hosting an internet service provider that published some of the sensitive information. Why is it so sensitive? According to Canaan, he got legal threats. You can get death threats? Get it on. Do exactly what the Scientologists. Audio recorded and video recorded. It's going to be state evidence. Was subjected to a noisy and obnoxious investigation, just like L. Ron Hubbard policies, when he set up WikiLeaks over a decade later. Assange posted all 612 pages of the church's, that's awesome, confidential operating Thetan documents. Oh, we need to share that, you guys. This is funny. They kind of poked the wrong bear in the eye with Julian Assange back in the late 1990s, said Canaan. Canaan alleges Scientology's secrets do not stop. with an intergalactic warlord. That there are a whole series of allegations of human trafficking, such as with Jose Navarro, as well as forced abortions, families being torn apart. No, families agreeing to be torn apart. The parents agree to it. And abuse of power. See, that's what bugs me. It's not all the executives' fault. I mean, they have a lot to do with it. But if you're all going along with it, that deserves to be exposed, he said. How many Scientologists are there in Australia? Scientology has been in Australia since the 1950s, has tax deductible status, and claims to be the world's fastest growing religion. But from 2006 to 2011, the number of Scientologists fell by 13.7%, down to about 2,000, according to the Australian census. Oh, that's a good place to get information. Oh, can't wait for this crap. Mike Ferris, the Scientology spokesman, said this was a massive underestimate. He said that there were as many as 250,000 people in Australia. Lies. New Zealand and Oceania's on the books. Lies. And some of them believe this stuff, though not all of these were active Scientologists. There would be many thousands, he said. I was at a recent opening of a building. Yeah, where they get everybody's money to open the buildings. Where was I? In Chatswood in Sydney, and 2,000 people turned up to that one event. Yeah, because they're forced to. They probably came from America and UK and everywhere else. There are many millions worldwide. The last figure I saw, this is the propaganda they believe, was around 10 million. Buddy, you need to get out of Scientology and see that that's a lie. What happened to Jose? One of Canaan's allegations is the Western Sydney Rehabilitation Project Force. Rehabilitation Project Force. That is where they, what would you call it? Like thought control? Mind control camps? Penal colony. He says member of an order. There we go with that order again, you guys. Wakey, wakey. Of its most dedicated believers. Sea Org were sent there as punishment for transgressions. Many were American. Oh, also too, that's how they separate people. So they'll separate husbands and wives. They're really good for doing that. But everybody's participating. So like, come on, at what point, you know? And then they'll also, like, they really love to send the pedos away to protect the pedos. They really super like to protect pedos in here. They're into it, bro. Because, you know, they believe children are adults in small bodies. That's not a recipe for pedophilia, is it? According to Canaan, Jose was granted a protection visa, listen to this, in Australia on the basis he was a victim of human trafficking. But listen to this, you guys, drum roll. But federal authorities did not prosecute. Isn't that where the Ninth Circle originated? Look it up, bro. The AFP looked into this, said Canaan. I don't know why there were no charges. Yeah, I want to know too. Why were there no charges, Australia? We want to know. It gets into tricky territory. Well, yeah, you could say that again. Jose had signed a contract for 1 billion years because of reincarnation. And arguably he had consented. Well, you can't do that when you're a child, bro. I'm assuming he was a child. And they're not talking about that, but I'm assuming. He had consented to being sent to Australia. They never mentioned his age, which really leads me more to believe he was a child. You could argue this consent wasn't informed. You see the tricky dicky stuff they try? But then you get to the problem of freedom of religion. Not for children, it's not. Maybe Jose was practicing his faith. Who is this dude? See, that's why, like, so the dude talking, I think. Is this the reporter talking? Maybe they're just a little uninformed, so I'll give them a break. Scientology has been deemed a religion in Australia for longer than most other countries. Isn't that great? Since 1983. In 1986 is when Miscavige took over. Good old 86 number. Compared to 1993 for the United States and 2013 for the UK. Wow, the UK should be ashamed. I think it's been in UK longer than that, don't you guys? What do Scientologists actually believe? You guys, I don't even want to listen to this garbage, but I'll read it. According to Mike Ferris, Scientologists believe in past lives. I do too. They believe the mind stores past memories of pain. And Scientology tries to clear these past traumas. Oh, they must be doing a real good job with all the child abuse. Huh? Inflicting trauma on the children? Achieving this state is called going clear. Most Scientologists have not yet managed to go clear. Yeah, the pre-clears are the ones that get all the auditing from the children. Isn't that wonderful? Mike Ferris at the age of 24, quite young. You guys know Mike Ferris was probably a child Scientologist. But not a record. He acknowledged that members pay money to the church in exchange for the knowledge and training. A lot of them go bankrupt. But said this was not the same as paying money to advance. This is the mind control crap, guys. There is a gradient of knowledge, meaning a person, that's how they do the mind control, gradients. They do the mind control through gradients. Meaning a person starting out is not exposed to all Scientology's teachings on purpose. It's how they get everyone. Asked how much it costs to go clear, a lot of people pay millions. He said it depended on the person. Yeah, it depends on how much money they have and their approach. He said on average it costs less than a university degree or even less than $25,000. Yeah, he thinks that, and it's probably true for some people. Tom Cruise has gone clear, he said. Ooh, Tom Cruise. Steve Cannon said Scientology's promise of healing past traumas and psychological problems was a con designed to get people to feel insecure and pay money. Yeah, that's true. When you do a personality test and get a graph, they say, there's a problem there. It might be alcoholism, anxiety, depression. Yeah, go back and look at the Katka girl that threw herself off a building and killed herself because of the personality test. Isn't that sad? She was a young, beautiful college student, and because of the personality test, she offed herself. She was like very young, like early 20s maybe, or maybe 18, 19. Scientology targets young, idealistic people who want the world to be a better place. They talk about clearing the planet of insanity and war. It must be where all the child abuse comes in, huh? They really sell that to you. But he says people should be free to sign up to the religion, especially the children, bro. It bothers me he's not bringing up the children. He's just not sure Scientology, especially the children, deserves a tax-deductible status. Not all religions have this status. Should an organization that traffics people be getting tax-deductible status? Should an organization that tears families apart? No, the families agree to be torn apart. That's where I have an issue here. Through their policy of disconnection. Yeah, that policy needs to be challenged in courts of laws. All of them do. All of the LRH policies. Be granted tax-deductible status, he said. I'll read it again. Through their policy of disconnection, be granted tax-deductible status. He said, it's an important question that should be debated in Australia. Facts. It should be debated in the United States, in Africa, in Ireland, in the UK. I hope Africans start getting wise to this, because it's not like they haven't been colonized enough. So I will leave the link in the description box. It was dated September 28, 2016. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.